Welcome back to Project 128. Today we're going to be showing you how we make the recipe for our compost tea. To speed things up for the video, we went ahead and we already put our mix inside of our net bag. But what we do is we take 2 cups of compost, and that's from the material that we have here on our property. It's good composted material. We're going to use 1 cup of worm cast. And we just pick these up through Amazon.com until we have our own vermiculture going and we get our own worm cast from that. The other thing we want is we add a little bit of molasses, and it's unsulfured molasses. And we use 2 tablespoons of that. We're going to take the molasses and we're going to mix it in our water first. And that's really thick, so usually you have to kind of get your hands in there to kind of get it off your whatever your measuring device is. And get that in our water first. Again, we have our 2 cups of our compost and 1 cup of our worm castings. We then take, if you remember, there were the smaller air stones that we put on this line. The 2 big air stones are in the bottom of our bucket. These 2, they go into the bag. And what I want to do is put these in to where it's past the connector, the T. That way when I tie this up, and it doesn't pinch my air hose because then it's tied above the line. Okay, once we have our bag inside the bucket, now we have the 4 air stones going. This is what you want it to look like. You want it like a low boil going. If I turn this lower, if you see something like this where it's just a little bit of bubbling and simmering going on, that's not what you want. There's not enough activity in there. It's not getting oxygenated, aerated correctly. So we want to have this turned up, and again, we want it to look like a boil. So it looks like that. And that'll give you good aeration. And again, we're going to have this in here for about 6 hours with the bag. After 6 to 8 hours, we pull our bag out. We're going to drop these air stones, these 2 small air stones, back in there at that point, and then we'll let that go for about another 12 to 18 hours. We usually do it for about 24 hours. So 8 hours with the bag in, 16 hours with the bag out. Okay, there you have it. That's how we're making our compost tea. If you have any questions, go ahead and send your questions to us. Again, if you have comments, suggestions, please go ahead and send those to us. Like us if you want. Go ahead and subscribe. And also, if you want, check out our website and blog. We'll have some still shots of what we're doing here, and we'll actually write up our recipe, and we'll also put that in for people who don't use the American standards. We'll go ahead, we'll put this into for milliliters and other measurements that you can use overseas. So again, thank you for joining us, and until next time, happy gardening.